morning, Coach Tonelli.
Morning, Coach Cernley.
It's Wednesday.
Yes, another day,
Yes.
another week.
Yep. I thought we could talk today. One of the more confusing aspects of recruiting for players going through the process is when they get communication back from coaches. And sometimes when they get communication back, it's different. Every program's different, right?
Yeah.
Some guys are like, they're going to call you every week. They're on top of it. Some programs have they have 4 coaches, 2 volunteer assistants, full-time assistants.
Every school is different. Every program's different.
Yes, the communication changes.
And the communication changes on each individual kid as well.
Right.
We're going to talk to or show more love to the kids that we really want.
Right.
As our number 1, number 2 type kids.
Yep. Let's talk about that because that's exactly it. We get a lot of questions from kids that are like, what's happening? Why haven't we heard from such and such a coach? We heard from them a lot early on. Now it's a little spotty. I figured we'd talk about just how, if Coach Tonelli is, let's say you guys need a catcher. How many catchers in general are you guys going to recruit if you need one catcher?
If we need one catcher, we're going to look at 4 or 5.
Okay.
We try to get the best possible kid we can. Usually we're competing against a Division I school.
Yep.
Or a high-end Division II school.
Right.
So we're all competing for the same kid.
Right.
If he goes someplace else, we need to fall back on number 2.
Right.
So we'll look at 5, maybe even 6 if we're looking at one kid.
So we're ranking them, right?
We
We're
rank
taking
them,
one,
yep,
two,
we
three.
rank them straight down.
And then the communication will be different, right?
Yeah.
1 to 6?
I mean, the number 1 kid's getting the most love, and
Yep.
the number 6 kid is getting the dang.
And that's where, I think for parents and kids, it gets confusing where it's like, well, where is it? And it changes because as soon as those kids, let's say, don't commit to the University of Bridgeport, that number 1 and number 2, number 3 becomes number 1.
Number 1, right, and then we'll look to fill in
Right.
4, 5, 6
Yep.
back.
And talking to guys, one of the things that happens is kids they get take it personally sometimes.
Yeah, they do. And that's human nature.
Yeah.
That's human nature. But unfortunately, the recruiting part of college baseball is the business part.
Right.
And in any business, that's what it is. That's how we survive.
And you
we
compete.
have to win.
Right. You're competing.
We're competing against everybody else.
And it's your job.
Yes. If we don't win,
If Bridgeport, if you guys, if you lose 25 games,
Coach DeLellis will get fired. Sorry, Mikey.
Sorry. All right, good, because this is, I think, an important thing for people to hear. It's ranked, it's tiered, communication is different, and so, in general, there's a lot of kids that are, tweeners that are kind of Division III versus Division I.
Yeah.
Maybe just 60 time away from,
Yeah, and
Right.
we'll evaluate that too. Will that kid be a good team player?
Right.
So we might switch some orders
Yep.
because of that too.
Yep.
We need our chemistry
Yep.
as well.
Do you ever get kids ask you that question about, all right, how many catchers you guys recruit?
Oh yeah, all the time,
And
all the
you're,
time.
you're completely honest with them where they fall?
Well, yeah, because they can go right onto
Right.
our website
Yep.
and look at our roster.
Right.
Right now, we actually have, if everybody comes back for next year,
Yeah.
maybe one of these days we could talk about what's going to happen to the rosters. But
Yeah.
we'll have 7 catchers on our roster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Best hitters play, right?
Right. I mean,
For
we were
most
supposed to lose 2.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll have 6. One's transfer.
Okay.
But we were supposed to lose 2
Yep.
to graduation.
Yep.
But they're coming back.
Yep. It's crazy.
So.
Okay. All right. So, so as far as I know, advice to people. I know we just I alluded to, they take it personally, and I know one of the things. Again, I do more talking, obviously, on the younger kid, the high school, and you're on the other end.
Right.
And I try and tell kids that it's not, the recruiting process always changes. You may be able to play at the University of Bridgeport.
Yes.
That doesn't mean
not necessarily.
doesn't mean that you're gonna be right there, because there's other kids that Bridgeport's seeing that are ahead of you.
Right.
So just because, and I think sometimes that doesn't register.
And again, it has to, you have to understand what each individual school's roster
Right.
is.
Right.
I mean, right now, if you're a position player looking to come to the University of Bridgeport, well, my entire outfield is sophomores.
Yep.
My entire infield is juniors.
Yep.
You're not coming in to play
Yep.
right now. We don't need that. We need arms. We need maybe another first baseman.
Right.
So we're kind of locked in, you know. We could have a great shortstop who's looking to come to Bridgeport. Well, Logan Allen's a sophomore. You're not beating Logan Allen.
Right.
You know, if you want to come in and sit for 3 years, okay.
Or hit enough to play second or play center
Yeah.
or whatever,
Right.
and earn a job.
But that's how it is. I mean, I may love you,
Yeah.
but you're still not going to play over Logan Allen.
Is that something you like to hear? And then, as a coach, when kids are looking at schools and they communicate with you,
I'll win the position.
right?
I'll win
I
something.
just love that.
Love it.
Like, that's the kid where it's like,
Love it. I welcome the
I just want to
competition.
get in the lineup. I just want to get in the lineup.
And I welcome the competition of it.
Right. You love to hear that.
Yes.
But I know, just always hearing like, well, we noticed that you have such and such on your
Yeah.
roster, yeah. And it's just like, all right, well, if you want to compete for a job, great. If you don't, right?
Well, Alex Rousso, again,
Yeah.
I mean, came in, you know, I'll compete, coach, I'll compete. Freshman year, nothing. Sophomore year, got a couple games. All of a sudden, he got into another game, was very successful, and then just let it roll. Then he became impossible to take out of the
Right.
line.
You can do it.
Yes,
Just- you
there's
gotta
no
work at it.
question about it.
You can do it. So, all right, so let's, kind of wrap up with it. If we do like just a quick, because I like lists. I'm a list guy.
Yeah, okay.
So let's think of like 5 things that, because and this is what I've noticed in the last 15 years. There are way more kids in the process now than
Lot of
ever
kids.
before.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those kids that are like, there's something interesting about them. You don't love them yet, but there's a lot of kids that are in the pipeline. And that are gonna get some love. Hey, come to our camp, we'll evaluate you. And when they're feeling that, all right, you're not that frontline guy that you're calling every week and bringing on campus, you're talking about some scholarship money with, you're not getting that sort of love, that early love. 5 pieces of advice when you're kind of feeling that inconsistent communication and you're feeling unsure of yourself.
Well, number one, keep communicating.
Yeah.
Keep communicating. Keep sending an email.
Yep.
You want to kind of be a pain in the ass,
Yes.
but not a jerk.
Right.
Okay? Be a pain in the ass where, hey, the coach is going to get an email every week.
Yep.
You know, hey, I'm still interested in the University of Bridgeport or University of New Haven or wherever you're going. So keep the interest.
Yep.
You want to keep stressing how you want to come in and make an impact.
Yep.
You want to be a part of the program.
Yep.
You want to be a part of the school and the
Yep.
school community. Those things go
So I'm
along.
gonna call us 1 and 2.
Okay.
All right, keep updating coaches on what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then keep communicating your interest in the school. And again, it all comes with don't take it personally.
Yes, you
I
can
mean,
take it
if you
personally.
take it personally, you're not gonna be able to do that.
Right.
The thing is, it's kind of like dating. You don't really know yet.
Yeah,
You talk to 10 girls, you got a better shot at getting a date.
right. Sometimes.
You talk to 3, you
Years,
gotta get a
yeah.
shot at going home.
Yeah, by yourself.
Right. We don't want that. So, all right. So, and keep expressing interest in the school. Keep updating coaches. How about being forthright with your communication with other schools? So it's like talking to other schools. Here's where I am.
Yeah, be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Hey, I have an offer from Southern Connecticut.
Yep.
They said I would have a roster spot.
Yep.
Is there any way that you could give me a roster spot? Is there anything I could do? Can you come see me again?
Right.
Just ask questions.
Right.
Another thing that we like is we like the hearing from other people, the recommendations. Okay, so if you know Coach Cermley, can you give Coach Tonelli a recommendation for me? those go a long way
Yep.
as well.
So keep your recs coming.
Yes.
Right? So that's number 4, right? So we got, making sure that you have people continually calling for you.
Correct.
And the other part too, which I like, and I always like that with kids when, let's say you're at a small Division III school, and that school is saying, hey, you're going to come in, you're going to be on the roster, even though there's a small D3 school, I really want to go to UB, but these guys are telling me I have a roster spot, and they kind of want to know, and I want to know,
Well, ask the
do I,
question.
yeah, right, coach, do I have a chance? And I think it's how you phrase that.
Yes.
You know.
But, well, hey, what's the possibilities?
Right.
What do you see as my future?
Right.
And most coaches, well, hopefully, you would get the honest answer.
Right.
Again, it's a recruiting game.
Yeah.
It's the ugly side of baseball.
Yep.
Coaches do lie.
Yeah.
Some coaches do lie. That's a fact.
Well, I think too, it's, but actions speak louder than words. So let's say you have an offer somewhere from a Division III school, say, hey, look, you have a roster spot, come on and apply, get in, and you're here. And then another school that's a little bit more competitive, that's maybe Division II, Division I school, is saying, hey, we want to keep you alive, but then you're still not hearing from them.
I would probably take that
Yeah.
Division III offer.
Sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a small pond
Yeah.
than it is to be a small fish in a big pond.
Right. I mean, it's, the less amount of communication you're getting,
Yeah.
the less impact
Yeah.
you have in that
Yeah.
program.
I'm going to give number 5. Here's my number 5 for this,
Okay.
right? My last piece of advice, because again, I talk to these guys, is to talk to someone.
Yes.
Talk to somebody who understands the process. So because the one thing that happens as they get older, if you're a junior and it's stressful and you feel like it's the biggest decision in the world, and it is a big one.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out, what does either the communication mean or what does the lack of communication mean? Talk to somebody who's been in the game,
Absolutely.
who can talk you off the ledge.
Yeah.
Because there are so many bad decisions made based on emotion,
Yeah.
fear,
Well,
and
and it's too big of a decision
Right.
to do that.
Right.
And that's where you get a lot of transfers.
Right.
Because they make a rash decision, and then all of a sudden they're not happy.
Right. And it's that, I want to play it this, I want to play it that, I want to play it. Well, let's get some good advice on, all right, what level player am I? What can I be? Not every program is the right fit for, if I'm a catcher,
Right.
and they don't have a catching coach on their coaching staff,
Not too many do.
right?
I mean, I'm one of the fortunate
You're lucky.
ones.
I mean, you go with the best. He's
Right.
the best. But if I'm a catcher, I'm looking for that.
Yeah, you want to get better.
Right.
You want to get better in your craft.
Right.
But you talk about the recommendations. I mean, we get recommendations from high school coaches.
Yep.
We get recommendations from the AAU programs.
Mm-hmm.
We get recommendations from some of our current players
Mm-hmm.
who know other players. But one of the biggest recommendations I get because of all the different ties that I have,
Yeah.
high school umpires.
Yeah. They see
The
it.
umpires, a lot of umpires, as you know, I get a bunch of them in here for our practices.
Right.
We're on really friendly terms.
Yeah.
Hey T, I got this kid. Hey T, I saw this kid.
Yeah.
Hey T, this kid said he's coming to Bridgeport. You gotta get him.
Yeah. Yep.
That happens a lot.
Well, I think it goes back to too. They don't. You got to realize that everybody's watching
You
everything
never
do.
know who's watching.
Yeah. You got to. You got to always work hard. You got to
Yep.
carry yourself well. So,
Absolutely.
all right, coach.
All right.
Let's keep working and let's keep hoping that this summer happens.
I hope.
We're excited. I know our guys are doing a good job right now of getting out, communicating with coaches. I know they're especially the older guys, doing a fantastic job. Even some of the younger guys, some of the freshmen and sophomores,
Good.
they are putting their stuff together. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a great one.
You too.